everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I have the final check-in of my project pan, which I did 9 in 2019. I'm going to go through the products that I challenged myself to try and finish in 2019. I know that it should have been 19 in 2019, but I knew that was too big of a challenge, so I did just set myself 9 in 2019. At this point I haven't decided yet whether to do this for next year, because I don't know if 10 in 20 sounds right. I know 20 in 20 will definitely be too many, but I think I'm going to have a look through my collection and see if there's some things that are kind of partway finished or something that I possibly need to make myself use that a little bit more to finally finish it off, because it's been in my collection a little bit too long. But I will have a think about that and decide whether to do that or not. So there are two products that I don't have at all in front of me that were ones that I finished earlier on in the year that I've now sort of long gone in the bin. The first of which was a Masala Water. I can't remember which update I finished this in, but it was only a mini Masala Water, and I think it was probably the second update that was already finished by. It didn't have a lot of product in to begin with, so that one is already long gone. The second product that I don't have with me is the Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick in the shade Primrose. And that one I just had to throw in the bin. I think that was in the last update that I decided to get rid of that one because it was an absolute mess. It started to melt within the tube. I had had it nearly 2 years at this point anyway, which may be long past the point you should have kept it for. It may have been a 12-month own product, I'm not too sure. But it was a creamy lipstick and it just deteriorated and just melted within the tube. So I couldn't measure, let alone use the product anymore, so I just got rid of that one. There was another mini lipstick that I did have in the project, and that was the Tarte Colour Splash lipstick. This one is in the shade Surf's Up. I do believe that my last update was around about October, and I think I did take a photo of its state then. This was in my everyday makeup drawer for months to try and get me to finish it up, and I did actually decide to take it out for the month of December, and I probably shouldn't have done because I've not touched this lipstick since then. But it is pretty much gone, to be honest. I did struggle the last few times I was applying it because, as you can see, it is really low and I was kind of rubbing my lips on here when I was using it. I didn't think at the time to start tilting it to possibly make that flatter. So to be honest, I don't think I'm going to get rid of this just yet. I think I'm going to try my best to get rid of this side here. All in all, I'm really pleased with my progress. I think this may actually be the first bullet lipstick I've ever finished. This is one that I have had also for, I don't know if it's 2 years quite, but it's a decent amount of time, and the quality of this hasn't deteriorated in the slightest. The formula has stayed as creamy as when I first opened it. It's a really gorgeous warm terracotta colour, and because of the size of the bullet, it does just go on the lips nicely. It's not too big of a bullet and you can get a lot of precision with it, obviously not in its current state. But it is just a really nice comfortable lipstick that lasts a decent amount of time. And I have a few of these because I've picked them up in numerous sets over the last couple of years. But out of the ones I've got, I think I'm definitely going to miss this shade. So I say I'm kind of determined now to flatten it up and completely finish it. I'm really happy with my progress throughout this year. And I think if I did do it again next year, I would definitely put another mini lipstick in, because I quite like trying to finish one of them up. It's a bit of a challenge, but it's an achievable challenge based on this. Next we have a product that I don't technically have with me, but I have the same thing. This is the Moroccan Oil hair treatment. This is a fresh bottle which I got to replace the one that I did actually finish. I think it was around November time that I finished that up. I did think I'd put it with my other empties, but when I had a look before filming this video I could not find it. I did also look where I normally was keeping it when I was using it and it wasn't there either, so I've obviously put it in that safer place. I don't know where I've put it, and no doubt I'm going to find it after I finish filming. But just so you had a kind of visual representation, this is exactly the same size product that I did actually finish. It is a 25ml bottle, and if I remember rightly from where my marks were, I think it was kind of around about here at the point I'd started. So I'd probably used about 5ml of it, so I had about 20ml left. But I did finish this off. I think it wasn't long after the last update, unless I did finish it before the last update and then got rid of it. I really should have watched my last update video before I started filming this, But either way, the one that I had, I did finish it in the course of the year, so I do have this fresh one to go into. But I'm currently trying to finish off a couple of other leave-in conditioners and detangling sprays and things that I've got open, because I've got quite a few open, before I start going into new ones. The next product I had in was this Victoria's Secret Tease Fragrance Mist. This is a product that has been in my project pan since I've had a project pan, not just in the 9 in 2019 one. I think I first started one, it may have been beginning of 2018, and I'd say this has been in there since then. This was a fragrance mist that I did apply every single day, but last Christmas my husband bought me a new perfume and that is the one I've been using since, and I've not really been reaching for this. There are a lot of markings on the side, but if you can see, there's not much of a gap between the last few. I've tried to apply it when I've just been, say, going to the shops or something like that, and not for an all day thing, because with it being only a fragrance mist, it doesn't last the longest amount of time. It is a really nice scent and I do enjoy using it. I do just like my perfume to last throughout the course of the day, so I'm not going to get rid of it. Plus I think I did buy another one, which was stupid, but I did love it that much at the time. It is really nice. It still smells the same, so I don't think it's gone bad, even though I've had it open for a long time. But really nice fragrance mist, nice and fresh, but something that I'm probably going to learn from my mistakes and not put such a huge product in next time. I think even if I put a perfume in, I think the bottle that I'm using is 30ml, which is I did get last Christmas, and I'm only just starting to finish it now. So on that basis, if it takes me a full year using it every single day to use 30ml, I was never going to scratch the surface on a 250ml bottle. But yeah, lesson learned with this one. The next product we had was this simple Masala Water, and this one, as you can see, is completely empty. I think it was as of the last update as well. I'll say I'm so sorry that I didn't think to watch the last video. There may be repeating myself here, but technically it is a kind of year roundup. But yeah, this one's completely gone. As you can see, the marks we had down the side, it started off just over halfway full, and this is a 200ml product, so I did have 100ml give or take to use in there. Mind this Masala Water, it's definitely not the best of views, but it's definitely not the worst. It didn't go so far as to completely dry out my skin, but I definitely couldn't use it around my eyes. It did make my eyes sting a little bit, and I did have to not apply too much, otherwise it would sting my skin a bit. So I wouldn't repurchase it, but at least I'm glad to have finished it off. Then I had a couple of nail varnishes in here. The first one is this Barry M Molten Metal, and this is in the shade Pink Ice. And on the side here, I don't think this has moved since the last update. This is one that I do tend to apply on my toes more than anything, and I don't think I've applied nail varnish on my toes since August at least, so that would have been before the last update anyway. And I've only used this a couple of times, which meant the line hasn't moved at all. But I'm halfway through the bottle. It's probably going to take me another year to get through the half of the bottle, but that's fine. I've got enough nail varnishes that I dip between that there's no wonder I didn't kind of use it, because I've probably got about 30 nail varnishes, if not more. I think it's about 30. But I'm glad to have put it in to show me how much I do kind of circulate my nail polishes. Definitely do love this colour. I can't really fault Barry M nail polishes. A big chunk of my collection are probably Barry M. They're so affordable. I think their classic nail polish range is about £3.99, and then you've kind of got these different ranges as well, which they've now got so many different ranges, which I think are usually about £4.49. But yeah, definitely rate this as a nail polish, and I like this better than a lot of the high-end polish brands that I've tried. The next polish is another one by Barry M from a different line, and this is from their Silk line, and this is the shade Pearl. This is one that is gorgeous in the summer, fingernails and toenails. It just looked great. And this one I did actually use a few times because I went to a wedding and things like that, so this was kind of the perfect nail varnish to wear. So since the last update we have gone down quite a bit there, but again, I'm halfway through the bottle. We've made a bit of progress throughout the course of the year, which I'm quite happy with. But this one probably will not get used now till the summer, because this is definitely one of my more summery shades. And the final product is the e.l.f. Under Eye HD Setting Powder, and this one is completely finished up. Literally not a scrap of powder left in there. because I made sure I got every last drop. This is my go-to setting powder for under my eyes. I use this every single day. It is so affordable. Full price, it's £5, but I think this pot and the one I'm currently using, I got half price and I paid £2.50 for. I don't think I was that far into this when I started it in the project, so that is the case that it's took a full year pretty much to finish one jar of it, so definitely good value for money, and I say would highly recommend it. I use it to set the YSL Touche Clack Concealer, and it just works great with that and just gives me that more airbrush look under my eyes without brightening them too much, because I'm not a huge fan of bright under eyes. But yeah, highly recommend it, and for £5 or less it is definitely worth a go. So overall, not too bad progress, I don't think. Only these 3 products out of the 9 that I didn't completely finish, so that's 2/3 I've managed to finish, which is great, and I think I did pick a good mix of products. I think next time I wouldn't put 2 of the same thing in. I'd probably try and put 1 from each kind of category, as it were, but which categories I'm not too sure yet. I was kind of looking into more skincare, but a lot of the moisturisers and things I use aren't in clear bottles. Like obviously with Masala Water, it's easy to monitor how much of it I've used, whereas if I use a moisturiser, it's a bit harder to gauge how much I've got left because you can't see through the tubes. I do have a couple of facial serums and facial oils that are in clear-ish bottles, so they might be a good thing to include. But I'm not too sure what I want to do yet, whether I just want to use my products at my leisure or force myself to use some of them in a project. But that's it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.